we really need to talk about power, because the AI data center boom has hit a wall, and that wall is the electrical power grid. Morgan Stanley just put a number on it: a 36 gigawatt shortfall in US data center supply over the next 3 years. 36 gigawatts. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the equivalent of needing to build 36 large nuclear power plants in 3 years. Bottom line, our grid can't keep up with AI. US data centers consumed about 176 terawatt hours of electricity in 2023. That's 4.4% of the entire country's electricity consumption, according to Congressional Research Service. Now, the US Department of Energy is projecting that could hit 12% by 2028. We're talking about tripling the data center power demand in just 5 years. So let's understand something. AI data centers, they're not like traditional data centers. A traditional data center might draw 5 to 10 megawatts for a campus that's about 5 acres or so. But AI data centers with GPUs, the same 5 acres, now that can pull 50 megawatts, 10 times the amount. And the hyperscalers, your Microsofts, your Amazon, Metas, Google, they're not building 50 megawatt facilities anymore. They're actually building gigawatt scale campuses. The largest data centers under construction right now are pulling 2 gigawatts, 2,000 megawatts. That's enough to power 2 million homes. Many times these numbers, they just seem so large. But think about it this way. The state of Oregon has 1.7 million households. Kansas has 1.1 million households. Virginia, the data center capital of the world, has 2.9 million homes. So think about that one data center that can be sucking the power of an entire state, maybe even 2 states combined. But it gets even more interesting, right? There are 50,000 acre data center campuses in early planning stages that could consume 5 gigawatts. 5 gigawatts is more than the largest nuclear plant in the United States. Again, we're talking about one single data center campus. Next point. It's not just generation capacity, though that's a big part of it. It's interconnection. Right now, if you want to connect a new data center to the grid, in some areas you're looking at a 7-year wait. 7 years. So by the time you get connected, your hardware is basically obsolete. Deloitte ran a survey of 120 US power company and data center executives in April of this year 2025. 72% of them said power and grid capacity is very or extremely challenging. So that's not, we're concerned about this. This is actively blocking projects right now. And it's not just about building more power plants. 95% of the projects stuck in interconnection queues are renewables and storage. The hyperscalers have clean energy goals, so they want to power their data centers with wind and solar, but those projects are stuck. Base load generation, that's contracting. So your coal plants, well, they're shutting down. Nuclear plants are aging out, and the new generation that's supposed to replace them is stuck in those interconnection queues. So we've got demand spiking and supply shrinking. Demand going up, supply coming down. What did we learn about that in economics class, right? So what about efficiency? Can we just make data centers more efficient? And the answer is yes. We should, and guess what? Engineers are always seeking to do that. But the math still does not work out, at least not in the near-term timeline. Even if you cut power consumption per GPU by 30%, which is aggressive, you're still looking at exponential growth in the number of GPUs being deployed. Efficiency can't buy you, it really can't solve the overall problem that we're having right now. So let's talk about what this means on the ground. Some of the leading data center growth regions, let's say Northern Virginia, Texas, Arizona, they're already seeing stress on their power grid. They have harmonic distortions, load relief warnings, near miss incidents, and it's spreading. AI infrastructure development is actually decentralizing. It used to be concentrated in a handful of markets, like I said, Northern Virginia, maybe Silicon Valley and Oregon. Now it's spreading to more states because companies are trying to deploy AI models closer to the end user for low latency, edge computing, which means the grid stress is also spreading. So what do you do if you're trying to build or operate an AI infrastructure right now? First, number one, you need to understand that power is the main bottleneck. Not GPUs, not the network, not bandwidth, not cooling, though we'll talk about cooling at another point. That's a spin-off of it. It's power, right? If you can't get power to the site, nothing else matters. Number two, you need to be thinking about power from day one, not as an afterthought, not as something, well, we'll figure out, after we pick the site. Power availability needs to be the first filter in your site selection process. Number three, you need to be looking at alternative power sources, on-site generation, co-location with existing power plants, power purchase agreements directly with generators, bypassing the grid. Some companies are even looking at small modular nuclear reactors for on-site power. And fourth, you need to prioritize efficiency and flexibility. Can your workloads shift to times when power is cheaper? Can you throttle back during peak demand? Can you use liquid cooling to reduce your cooling power overhead? And five, and this is critical, you need redundancy. N+1 isn't enough anymore. You should be thinking N+2, maybe even N+3, because the grid is less reliable than it used to be. And if you're running mission critical AI workloads, you can't afford downtime. This 36 gigawatt gap is not getting smaller. It's actually getting larger. And this is not a problem that gets solved by throwing money at it. I know we've heard staggering investment numbers, right? Hundreds of billions of dollars. But you can't just write a check and build a 36 gigawatt of generation capacity in 3 years. The supply chains aren't there. The permitting processes aren't there. The grid infrastructure is just not there. So big question. The demand is real, but the infrastructure to support it really is not keeping pace. Is it sustainable with the power constraints we have? So if you're planning AI infrastructure, you need to be realistic about timelines, you need to be creative about solutions, and you need to be prepared for constraints that didn't exist 2 to 3 years ago. If you want to go deeper on this, I've linked the Deloitte AI Infrastructure Survey and the Congressional Research Service report in the description. And if you're working on AI infrastructure and need help thinking through your power or network strategy, reach out. I do consulting in this space and I'd be happy to talk. And to you vendors or service providers looking to reach this audience, consider sponsoring our channel or even a series. That's it for this one. I'm Vernon Neal Reed, and this is AI Infrastructure Media.